camera 1 and 3, and you might be asking, well, there's a lot more buttons there than just 2 for 2 cameras, and I know that it's kind of complicated, but what we have here is it's actually equipped to be a remote control for up to 7 cameras. So we're only using camera 1 and we're using camera 3. Camera 2 is the stationary camera outside that we move around. Somebody actually sits at that one. But this is camera 1, this is camera 3. It's important that whatever you're doing, you know which camera you're on and you're adjusting the correct camera. You gotta focus on what's going on and you gotta pay attention, and most of our camera work mistakes happen when someone is, the video switcher will go to camera 1 and the camera 1 person is still adjusting, or the camera 1 person is accidentally adjusting camera 1 when they think they're trying to move around camera 3, and that's when the video switcher takes a bad shot. And so we really want to prevent that. We don't want to do it at all. We want to prevent that as much as possible, and that comes by attention to detail and communication between camera 1 and 3 person and the video switcher, and that's very important. That's a big reason why they're sitting right next to each other. So you see there's a couple different things you can do. This row of buttons up here, these are called presets. So before we get started, you can take camera 1 and 3 and you can hold them to a preset. So if you take camera 1, you have it in a certain spot, you can hold down preset and the number you want to use until the green stops blinking, and there's your preset number 4 for camera 1. And that preset will only work on the camera that you set it for. Each camera has its own presets. It's important to note that during the sermon, we are currently using camera 3, preset 3, to put things on the video feed or the live stream when we have illustrations and graphics on the left and right side screens that fill the screen. Now please only take camera 3 preset 3 when you're directed to by the director, because sometimes, depending on what the spider cue is, sometimes it's going up with the video feed and you need to take camera 8, and sometimes it is going up with sometimes it's going up directly from the spider to the screen. So pay attention to the director, but for the most part, we're going to use this camera 3 preset 3 when an illustration fills the left and side screens. The next thing you'll need to know, which usually becomes pertinent during worship, is that there's 3 of these knobs here. And the first knob is for focus. This is the bottom knob, which is focus. The second knob is brightness, and the third knob is value. This is the top, the middle, and the bottom, right? So you're going to take the value, you turn it left and right, and it adjusts for less value to the left and more value to the right. Same for the brightness. It's less to the left and it's plus to the right. And there's plus and minus signs on here and all that stuff, so it's very easy. And they're labeled value and brightness. I'll usually call them out as the top dial, camera 2 to the left, or camera 3 middle dial to the right, stuff like that. I try to work with you guys on that one. This bottom one here is the focus, and it's important to understand that the focus actually has 2 modes to it. It can either be manual or auto, and when the focus is in auto, you'll see this button right here will be lit. This little blue dot will be lit, and that's when it's in auto. But if the focus isn't working for some reason, or we're doing a very specific thing with the camera work, you can hit this button and it will switch to the little blue light being lit above the word focus, and the focus will be manual, and you can adjust it for whatever you need to adjust it for. However, we like to leave the focus in auto because it's auto, it does a great job. So just try and leave it there, because we don't want to be taking fuzzy shots on the regular. We want things to be crystal clear and for the experience to be as close as if you were actually seeing it on stage and not to be a distraction. It's very important to focus and to just stay dialed into what's going on overall and all around you and on the stage. If you need to stand up for a second, look out the window, what's going on, to pick a better shot, go for it. You'll use the joystick here to select shots, and when you're using the joystick, it's got down and up, and you can rotate it to zoom in and out. So if you rotate it one way, it zooms in. If you rotate it the other way, it zooms out, and you'll move around and select shots. That's about it. Yes, there is a button on top, but that's for selecting things in the menu, but you guys don't have to use the menu feature, so that's okay. Now, if you end up doing camera 1 and 3 and video switcher at the same time, don't feel bad. That happens to a lot of us. You'll do great. Just focus on what you're doing and get into a rhythm that works for you and take the right shot at the right time, and pay attention to what you're doing, and don't going slow isn't bad. I mean, try to keep up with what we're doing, but like once you get into the rhythm of it, it'll come to you, and you will have a lot of fun because it is cool to do all the cameras at once, and but it's also easier to work with somebody else to do it.